In 2014, Joko Widodo was elected as Indonesia's president with bold promises for development and reform. Re-elected in 2019, Jokowi's presidency has been marked by major achievements and challenges. As he steps down in 2024, we evaluate the fulfillment of his promises and the lessons for the future. Jokowi's 2014 campaign was centered on his Nawacita, a 9-point agenda for strengthening governance, reducing corruption, and boosting development, particularly in rural regions. His administration focused on distributing land, improving infrastructure, and ensuring better welfare for Indonesians. Land reform. Jokowi promised to distribute 9 million hectares of land to farmers, a key part of regional development. Status, partially achieved. While significant land was redistributed, the target was not fully met. Infrastructure has been a hallmark of Jokowi's presidency. Between 2015 and 2020, Indonesia built over 3,400 kilometers of national roads, 1,298 kilometers of toll roads, 29 new airports, and numerous seaports, dramatically improving connectivity and boosting regional economies. Score: 9-10. Jokowi's administration exceeded expectations in building Indonesia's infrastructure. Jokowi aimed for 7% GDP growth, but Indonesia's economic performance averaged around 5% due to global economic challenges and the COVID-19 pandemic. While the economy contracted in 2020, it rebounded to 5.31% growth in 2022. Score: 4/10. Economic growth was stable, but did not meet the ambitious targets. In 2014, Jokowi promised to create 10 million jobs. By 2024, this target was achieved, primarily through infrastructure projects. However, the quality and sustainability of these jobs have raised concerns. In 2020, the controversial Omnibus Law was passed to improve job security and attract foreign investment, but it faced significant protests. Score: 8-10. Job creation was successful, though labor reforms remain divisive. One of Jokowi's most notable successes has been reducing poverty. In 2014, 11.2% of the population lived below the poverty line. By 2022, that figure had fallen to 9.54%. Programs like the Indonesia Smart Card and BPJS Healthcare helped millions access essential services. Score: 9-10, a major achievement in lifting millions out of poverty. Jokowi promised to fight corruption, but his second term saw setbacks. The 2019 reforms weakened the Corruption Eradication Commission, KPK, sparking public outcry and protests. This has been one of the most controversial aspects of his presidency. Score: 3/10. Early efforts were overshadowed by later reforms that undermined progress. Environmental sustainability has been a persistent challenge for Jokowi's administration. While deforestation rates have fallen, Indonesia's reliance on coal remains high, and the country has struggled to meet its carbon emission targets. Score: 4/10. While progress was made, the environmental goals were not fully met. Jokowi expanded access to education through programs like the Indonesia Smart Card and focused on vocational training to prepare the workforce for the digital economy. His administration also saw significant growth in the digital economy, with Indonesia becoming a regional hub for tech startups and e-commerce. Score: 7/10. Progress was made in expanding access to education and supporting the digital economy, but quality gaps remain. Jokowi promised to turn Indonesia into a global maritime hub and achieve economic self-reliance, particularly in agriculture and fisheries. While there have been improvements in port infrastructure and maritime trade, Indonesia remains reliant on imports for key commodities like rice and fuel. Score: 6/10. Progress was made, but economic self-reliance remains incomplete. In 2019, Jokowi promised to modernize Indonesia's defense systems to strengthen national security. While some progress has been made in upgrading military capabilities, Indonesia still faces challenges in becoming a regional defense leader. Score: 6/10. Some improvements were made, but more work is needed to achieve full modernization. Jokowi's presidency saw mixed results across his promises. Major achievements in infrastructure, poverty reduction, and job creation were offset by challenges in governance, environmental sustainability, and economic growth. His final score reflects a presidency of ambitious promises, partial successes, and key challenges. Final score: 64-100, a presidency marked by bold promises, and uneven results. As Indonesia looks toward the future, the next president can build on Jokowi's successes while addressing unresolved challenges. Here are the key lessons learned from the past decade. 1. Set realistic, adaptable goals. Jokowi's bold economic targets were ambitious, but future leaders should focus on achievable, flexible goals that can adapt to global challenges. 2. Strengthen governance and anti-corruption. Restoring public trust in anti-corruption institutions like the KPK will be crucial for maintaining good governance. 3. Prioritize environmental sustainability. Future administrations must focus on reducing reliance on coal, protecting Indonesia's forests, and meeting emission targets through renewable energy investments. 4. Invest in education and human capital. Strengthening education and vocational training is essential to preparing Indonesia's workforce for the demands of the global economy. 5. Ensure inclusive growth. Economic policies should prioritize rural development, ensuring that Indonesia's growth benefits all regions. Jokowi's presidency has transformed Indonesia in many ways, but there is still work to be done. The next president must build on these foundations while learning from the past to lead Indonesia toward a prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable future.